This is an absolute steal for the Pittsburgh Penguins as they go off the board and select a hidden gem in this year's NHL entry draft. We're going to break down who that is, as well as fan backlash and a bunch of reactions to GM Kyle Dubas. And we're going to break down exactly why Penguins fans are mad at the Penguins GM. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Penguins Digest. But before we do that, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 68% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with everything going on with the Pittsburgh Penguins, go down below, hit that free subscribe button, because this is the place to be for all your daily Pittsburgh Penguins content. But Mark, the Pittsburgh Penguins have made their selection, their first selection in this year's draft. The first round isn't even done yet, and we're making this video. And they've picked Benjamin Kindel of the WHL's Calgary Hitmen. And this is a weird one. A lot of insiders are saying that this is way off the board. In fact, 10 picks off the board. He was only projected to go around 20 to 25. So the Penguins pick him up at 11. We're going to get into some fan reaction as well. Fans are not happy about the fact that they traded their back-to-back pick, and they didn't come out of it with Eklund. We'll get to that in a second. But what do you make of this player? This is a good, let's not get it twisted. This is a great player. This is still a good selection, and it's a good thing that this guy is now a Penguins prospect. But again, we'll get into all this stuff in a second. But what do you make of this player?
I mean, I think looking at it, some people might see the situation as, hey, you took a reach on the guy. When he was drafted, depending on what coverage you were watching it on, these guys said we don't have him anywhere near this pick. But my big thing with all this is you have a department that's scouting guys. You have the pick you want. If your guys there available at this pick, you take him, even if he's ranked 10 picks later. I think getting the guy you want is exactly what you need to do. You scout this guy for a reason. You see a future. Don't take a guy that you don't see a future with, unless you have the first overall. Don't take a reach. You go for whatever Matthew Schaefer. But the thing with this is, listen, a great scorer. We've seen him just absolute dominate in the juniors. I'm not upset with this pick. I'm upset with what we're going to touch on shortly. But overall, this pick right here, I'm honestly fine with, and I think it's going to end up being a lot bigger of a steal than people are giving the Penguins credit for.
Yeah, and I think this is a good pick. It's a great pick, and like I mentioned off the top, the fact that he's now a Pittsburgh Penguins prospect is a good thing, and that's what you should be looking at and enjoying if you're a Penguins fan. His NHL comparable is Mitch Marner, and if you take a look at some of the advanced analytics, this is a great player, and he's going to be a great player, and all of his skills, while being, a bit of a smaller player, should translate to the NHL level. And he was, I believe, the second highest leading point getter in the CHL this season, behind obviously Michael Misa. I could actually be wrong on that. A lot of the stats are just coming out right now as we're recording this, but he was definitely at least draft eligible, I should say, in the CHL, and he was the best draft eligible WHL skater by points this season as well. So again, a smaller player, but this guy can absolutely put the puck in the back of the net. Not only that, he can set up as well. He's a good playmaker, and obviously he finished 7th in WHL scoring in his draft eligible year. That's pretty impressive as well. As you can take a look here at some advanced analytics as well. This is just a great player. This is a really, really good pick. It's just the fact that it was made at number 11 over another pick, and that they traded their draft pick, that I feel like a lot of fans are upset about. And we don't want to not acknowledge it. We're going to get into it right now. And a lot of fans, again, are upset. We'll get into Benjamin Kindel in just a second again, but again, in terms of the player and what he brings, but I do want to get into this. The Penguins have officially traded, the number 12th overall pick to the Flyers. The Flyers made their selection with that. Now the Penguins are drafting again at 22 and 31. We'll have videos on that as well. So they do have 2 more first round picks, which is pretty impressive, but a lot of people are not happy about the fact that they did not select a guy that we were talking about in Victor Eklund. And we were talking about him in a video earlier today. Mark, I know you have thoughts on Victor Eklund, and Penguins fans do. Even Chell Penguins, who's a great follow, and we've been using them on the channel before. Pittsburgh has a 100% chance of coming out of the draft with McQueen or Eklund. It looks like at this point, neither of them are going to be Pittsburgh Penguins. People are mad.
Because this is the situation I want to look at. You're coming out with the guy you wanted at this pick, but Eklund is a guy that I've had all year being one of the top underrated players, and I shouldn't say underrated. He's a lottery pick coming through the draft. But Eklund, everyone you look at, former teammates, his teammate that just went 3rd overall, spoke on how much of a hound he is, how good he is at shooting. His overall offensive game is incredible. You look at the quotes from his coaches. everything about this guy, going as far as calling him a junkyard dog. He does everything you want out of a prospect. A lot of these Euro guys coming in are almost NHL ready. You see a lot of guys make the jump. They're playing against grown men in the SHL or whatever league it may be. Getting a guy like this, Eklund could have jumped straight in. We've seen how successful his brother has been with the San Jose Sharks. He had an injury, and we hope he gets well. But Victor Eklund would have been, in my opinion, the best pick. And I honestly would have taken him above this as well. Getting him into this Penguins organization would have changed everything, in my opinion. You get a guy that's not only a grinder coming out of the Swedish Hockey League, but defensively responsible, with a good shot, a good playmaker. What else could you ask for? And apparently Dubas would rather go out, and yes, getting 2 picks is great. You get more prospects in the system, but you had a guy that could have came in and been one of their top prospects immediately.
And again, at the time of this recording, I mean, maybe Dubas has intel that, he's going to fall to 22. I don't think that's very likely at this point, because I feel like a lot of people already thought if the Penguins got him at 11 or 12, it would have been a steal already, and that didn't happen. So he's going to get picked in the next couple of draft picks, at the point of this recording. But yeah, I mean, Penguins fans are not happy about that, and instead they get a player here that will be a good player, absolutely. But when you look at Eklund, probably could make the jump, very soon, maybe right away, like you mentioned, would have been more NHL ready, more well-rounded player. But there could be some really good upside here with Benjamin Kindel. I don't want to take anything away from him. And you can see here, elite prospects on Benjamin Kindel. He can't stop scoring. After 60 points as a WHL rookie, which, by the way, super impressive in the WHL for a rookie, 60 points. He became one of the league's elite scorers, though undersized. He has the right blend of skills to make the NHL in a scoring role, which is very hard to do. It is very hard to do. It's the hardest thing to do in the NHL is score goals. And again, from Cam Robertson, who does some great work with prospects, he goes, that is an off-the-board pick. The Penguins are taking Ben Kindel about 10 spots ahead of where most figured. But the kid has all sorts of offensive juice. And obviously we know how this ended. The Penguins then traded their 12th overall pick, which came from the New York Rangers, obviously, to the Philadelphia Flyers. So now they're drafting at 22 and 31. So we'll cover those draft picks as well in the first round. But, I do think I will maintain that this was a steal. The fact that they got this player, he has he's going to be a great player, right? And he has that offensive output, and it's going to translate to the NHL level. But fans do seem to be pretty upset. But Mark, any final thoughts on Ben Kindel in this draft pick?
I mean, looking at Kindel, I think the biggest thing is we know how good of a scorer he is. He's going to have to translate his game. Most guys are going to. But I do think if Kindel was 1 or 2 inches taller, if you put a guy out there that's 6'2 or 6'3, he's a top 5 pick. His offense has been incredible. I do want to say, as much as I love Eklund, I do think Kindel is going to come in and be an incredible player. You're going to get a speedy winger that can put up a lot of points for this Penguins team in 2 to 3 years from now. So overall, I think Dubas did an incredible job with this pick, but I do wish he held on to that last one.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what, Penguins fans are feeling right now. This is a good pick. You can still be very excited about this. It's not a waste of a pick or anything like that, but there was a little bit more left to be desired, I think, by Penguins fans. But let us know what you think or how you think about all of this in the comments and how you feel about everything going on with the Penguins. We'll be back to cover some more of their draft picks later in the draft. Let us know how you feel. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything Pittsburgh Penguins.